Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today we've got a first impressions video. We're taking a look at some Ozark trail knives. Also, right here next to me I have a backpack full of fixed blades, and I've got a bunch of fixed blades all over the place because I'm working on a video about fixed blades that you'll probably have already seen by the time this one comes out. So, hope you enjoyed that one, especially you, Zach. This video is special requested by Zach. But today, we're taking a look at 3 Ozark trail knives. Now, I'm filming this in mid-December, okay? You're probably not going to see this until, like, January, but, oh well, it is what it is, I guess. So, let's go ahead and bust in to these 3 interesting Ozark trail knives. Of course, it's a holiday season right now, so Ozark Trail and all the other brands are doing their, holiday stuff. And so I picked up a couple. These are their $7 $7 folding knives, and there's some interesting ones here. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm not sure if we'll need a knife today. These have packets that are pretty easy to rip open, but the unboxing knife is going to be the Civivi Placoid, which you have hopefully already seen an unboxing for. I've actually been carrying this folding knife a lot and beating the crap out of it. I'm giving the Hinderer Jurassic a break. I actually had to put that knife, I had to put my Hinderer Jurassic in my desk drawer and hide it so that I'll stop carrying it and carry other knives I need to review. And it's been killing me. I'm not going to lie, it's been killing me. But let's go ahead and take a look at these. So, starting us off with one that we've seen on the channel before, this is the Glacier. Now, back when I had this knife on the channel, it was a little bit different. It was unnamed at the time, and everyone was calling it the Stormtrooper knife. It had the white scales with the black blade. I believe it still had the same texturing on the scales. I actually have mine sitting around here somewhere, but I'm not going to go grab it. They've updated it a little bit. They gave it a name, the Glacier, which means I'm comfortable reviewing it now. It was always difficult for me reviewing Ozark trails in the past because they didn't have a name, which was very frustrating. It makes the videos hard to title, especially in a way that other people are going to find them. Because in fact, actually, I just realized these other two knives don't have names. They just say 7-inch or 7.5-inch folding knife, which for a long time, that's the only designation Ozark Trail gave any of their knife models. And so if you type in Ozark Trail 7.5-inch folding knife, there's going to be like a dozen different results that pop up. But anyways, they've updated this one a little bit. It has a reversible clip now, and it has a different clip. I might have to go and grab my OG one of these because I've been talking about some. In fact, I think I know where I think it's easy to grab. I'm going to go grab it. Actually, never mind. I just remembered I gave that knife away, like, literally a couple of weeks ago. I gave that knife away to a friend, so never mind. But yeah, let's go ahead and bust into this knife here. New colorway. A couple of months ago, I saw they had this knife in blue, and it was like a really nice, like, dark navy blue, and I'm a sucker for blue knives, and I really like blue handles with black blades. This probably would have gone faster if I used a knife, but we'll just rip it out like a freaking caveman. I really like blue handled knives with black blades. I find that really aesthetically pleasing, but I missed out on that knife, and I'm not sure if they're going to make it again. I think this is going to be the colorway that they stick with now. But anyways, here's the knife. Classic drop point blade, got a little swedge along the top, hollow grind. These are in 3CR steel, I believe, which is not an amazing steel. I'll be honest, I don't hate it at a certain price point. Like, this is $7. It's hard to complain, right? It's hard to complain. Now, as for the rest of the knife itself, the plastic scales are... Wait a second. Okay, so they do just have cartridge liners. So the liners really just come to this screw right here. They're inset. And then we do have, metal standoffs here. And there's a little bit of flex. But honestly, this is like sturdier than a Benchmade bug out. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, $6 knife is better than the bug out. I'm just saying that that's something that I appreciate. Got a nice little bit of jimping right here. Again, reversible clip. And actually, I really like that the reversible clip, you can kind of see glowing in there or shining or whatever. They do have like little metal inserts in there for you to, screw a screw into, which is nice, right? It's kind of needed, but, sometimes you don't see that. Not recessed, and we do have, some button screws. But the clip tension's good. I'm sure this will work in and out of the pocket just fine. Big old lanyard hole. This is, of course, a crossbar lock, or as they... Oh, this one doesn't say it. They had another knife there that I saw that they're still using the shaft lock term. Ha ha ha, shaft lock. Let's go ahead and give this a try. Now, one thing I will notice is these studs do not stick out very far at all. Those are nearly flush. If I remember right, the other one, they stuck out a little bit further. I can still grab them because the opening's nice and big. All right, centering is just about perfect, I would say. Let's see, let's hold it like that. Yeah, pretty close to perfect. Yeah, a little bit hard to tell right now, but that looks pretty dang good to me. See how the opening action is. This is running on bearings. Nice pop. Yeah, sometimes they dial these crossbar locks. I'm telling you. Let's check for blade play. Got a little bit of side to side. No up and down though. Awesome. So that side to side can probably be adjusted out. It's going to affect the action. Maybe. But I'm sure I could balance this out. That's nice, actually. I unboxed a couple of Ozark Trails a while ago that had up and down play. They were liner locks. That's kind of an issue. Side to side is not typically an issue that remains an issue for very long. But yeah, good ergos. Just a pretty solid little knife, and I'm glad that it's got a name now because I can actually give this knife a full review, which is pretty awesome. Okay, let's look at these other two knives, which unfortunately do not have names, which is a bummer, but I might still review them. So first of all, we have this one, which I thought looked really, really interesting. And one thing that I love about it is it has pivot collars. You guys, if you know me, you know I love pivot collars. I think it's a really easy way to class up a knife, especially if it's a $7 knife. That's just kind of classy. But we've got like this, it's a kind of a big knife. We've got rubberized plasticky scales. We've got some nice milling up here. This knife looks really good. We've got like bronze hardware all the way around. This looks kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and bust into this. Ooga booga, ooga booga. Wait a second. What? Oh, okay. Wait. No. Okay, I don't think so. But maybe. At first, okay, so there's a couple things I thought at first. Just looking at it, this is doing a couple things different from Ozark Trail. Number one, the stop pin is seated a little bit lower than they typically do. On this knife here, you can see the stop pin is this screw right here, and it's, it sits pretty high, which there's nothing wrong with that. And by the way, nice big stop pin on this knife. I like that. This stop pin is not that big, but it's sunk really low. And at first I thought it was a collared stop pin, which it might actually be partially collared by the blade. But then looking at how far the tang came into the back, I was like, oh, is this going to be a front flipper? But I don't think so. In hand, this knife is not as big as it looked in the box. Like, it just looked a lot bigger than all the other knives. In the hand, though, you can see my medium-ish hands are, kind of running out of room. We've got a choil up here. It's a small choil. I'm not the biggest fan of choils, but, sometimes they can be all right. This one seems like it's okay-ish. Hollow ground blade, drop point, excellent jimping along the spine. I gotta admit, I really like this design. It is super comfortable in hand. It's not contoured, but it is chamfered in a couple of different ways that makes it feel contoured. And the rubberized texture is actually really, really nice. Again, we've got like these bronze-colored screws back here to match the pivot collar. Even the clip screws are kind of bronzy, but the clip is silver and so is the pivot, which I don't know, it's kind of glary, like kind of awkward to me. Also, I just realized this knife does not have a reversible clip, but it is tip up. We've got thumb studs and a flipper. Let's go ahead and check that action. Liner lock. Our lockup is pretty late. Looks like it's, yeah, we're at 50% already, so this could be bad. Let's actually check for blade play real quick. Oh my gosh, this thing actually is rock solid. That might be one of the most solid Ozark trails I've ever felt right out of the box. Okay. Okay. Access to the liner is not bad. Ooh. Okay, that felt kind of gritty and tight. We are ever so slightly off center. You can see we're off to this side a little bit. So I might have to back off that pivot a little bit. That might change the solidity of the lockup. But yeah, it is a partially collared stop pin. All right, kind of a minimalist flipper tab, which is interesting. No jimping. Ouch! All right, this one's got a detent. Okay, okay. Thumb studs. All right. With the thumb studs, this little area right here makes getting to the thumb stud a little bit awkward. Nothing that's like, I can't overcome though. Okay. The action's already breaking in. Reverse flick is fine. Let's try that flipper again. Yeah, we're already breaking in. Yeah, honestly, I like this knife a lot more than the Trailman, which I think I have right here. I do. There we go. This was an Ozark Trail that I was really excited about. I might get another one of these because this one is, like, I really like the design. I thought this was really, really cool for Ozark Trail, but this knife here has some issues. Like, I can flex the lock just by pushing on the spine. We have a lot of up and down play, side to side play that I can't adjust out. I think what would have helped this knife a lot is if the stop pin was a little bit bigger, but great action on this knife. Like, fantastic action on this knife. It's really, really good. I love that clip point blade, but the kind of shaky lockup is not something I'm a big fan of. This knife feels really, really good. Like this feels very solid. And I think it's using the same size stop pin as the Trailman, but this is a much smaller knife. And that stop pin, again, having it seated a little bit lower in the scales really, really helps with creating solid lockup. You can see this one is pretty high on the scales, or on the inside of the liners too, I guess. And then this one, you can see it's like way down in there. And we do have a little cutout on the back of the blade that partially wraps around it when it's open. So this knife feels really, really solid. It feels like what this knife should feel like. Again, I'm probably going to get another one of these if I can find them again. I haven't been able to find them in a while. And we'll see if I can find one that's got better lockup. But this knife right here, I'm really impressed with. I really like this design. It caught my eye immediately. And I was kind of scared that I was going to buy a dud. And this would have been one where if I did get a dud, I probably would have gone back and got another one until I got a good one, right? But I like this one a lot. Great ergos. That choil I could go without, but, it just barely fits my finger. But I really do like this design. Yeah, this is a cool one. This is a real cool one. I wish it had a name. But I like this one a lot. This is actually probably my favorite Ozark Trail that I've unboxed this year. The Glacier is a really, really awesome knife, but I've had this one before. This one's probably my favorite new Ozark Trail. I really, really like that knife. Okay, let's move on to this one. This one's interesting because it's got an aluminum handle. I wasn't like a huge fan of the looks of this one at first. It looks kind of cheap to me, but it does have a reversible clip. But the thing that got me interested in this one is the fact that it's thumb stud only. And Ozark Trail doesn't really do that very often with their newest run of knives. Most of them have been, if they're liner locks, of course, like their crossbar locks are all thumb studs, but most of their liner locks are either flipper only or flipper and thumb stud. So this kind of caught my eye just for that reason. And again, this one has no name. So, okay, this is incredibly lightweight. We do have full liners, but like there's a lot of milling out going on there. Interesting looking blade. Hollow ground again. I'll call this kind of a... I mean, I wanted to say like a harpoon spear point. I don't know. Maybe. Actually, the blade kind of reminds me of the HK Exemplar. Liner lock. That liner looks uncomfortable and blade-like. Lockup on this one is still a little bit late, but not as bad as on that other knife. Actually, maybe it is. Man, I really like this knife. No, it's a little bit earlier. If this one's 50%, this one's like 40, 45. But we have a red pivot collar only on one side. Oh, that kind of stinkery. Oh, this one's got it on both sides. Just one side on this one, but I guess that's a kind of nice pop of color. This side looks really cheap, gas station-y, and ugly, but for some reason, I think that pivot collar, it's just, it adds something to the knife. CJRB used to do a lot of pivot collars, and they do them every now and again, but I haven't had a CJRB knife in quite some time that had a pivot collar, and I wish they'd go back to that because I love pivot collars. But yeah, okay, so we have a single jimp right there, which is kind of interesting. I can already tell you I'm going to hate this pocket clip. Now, there's another one of these knives I picked up in Walmart before I got this one that had the pocket clip like completely bent out already. And I can see this one's going to have issues because that pocket clip, the little point of it, falls directly in this hole. So that's no bueno. Reversible clip though, which is pretty cool. Again, this knife is super lightweight. Sharpening on this is absolute dog shit. Yeah, this is very, very bad. Holy moly. This has one of the thinnest edge bevels I have ever seen on this side of the knife. Like this is, like they must have sharpened this to like 30 degrees. Like it is so tiny. I'm not even sure if I can get that to come across. And then on this side, it's bigger, looks a little more normal, still kind of small, until you get out to the tip, and it's like all over the place. But most of the Ozark trail knives that I get, I'm not gonna lie, cut like shit out of the box. But then once you put your own edge on them, do a little bit of reprofiling, they typically become fairly good cutters because of the hollow grinds. Okay, let's go ahead and unlock this guy. Yeah, that lock bar is not covered. Oh. Is this one on bearings? I don't think this one's on bearings. Where did I throw the box at? I knew I should have thrown that box. I knew I would need it later. There we go. No, it says ball bearing opening on there. But I think they're lying. Oh my gosh, this one is not centered at all. Let's see, let's get that on screen. Way off to the show side. Okay. Not super impressed with the action. No up and down, which is good. Tiny bit of side to side, which I was hoping there'd be. I might be able to adjust this action slightly. I don't want to tighten it too much. I don't know. This feels weird. This does feel like bearings, actually, but like shitty bearings. Shitty bearings, shitty bearings. Chitty Bang Bang was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. Goodness gracious, that sharpening is awful. Oh my gosh. And there's like chips in the edge already. Ah! Yeah, so this one's definitely my least favorite. This one just kind of feels like a piece of crap. Oh, oh, oh my gosh! And there's like machining, like bad machining marks on the choil, on the inside of the choil here. You guys aren't gonna see that real well. You can kind of see it catching light a little bit. I'll make some shorts and more videos with these knives later on showing this stuff off, but like, yeah. Okay, so this one's gonna need some work. Ergonomically though, I gotta say, it does feel really nice in my hand. Like, I was afraid that this would kind of feel like a Gerber paraframe. It really doesn't. The clip actually hides surprisingly well. Like, I know it's there, but like it's not uncomfortable at all. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, and this knife actually has two separate stop pins. So you've got a stop pin for the open position and the closed position. And oh my gosh, that open position stop pin looks like it's about to fall out. Okay, so yeah, this one, like right now it's technically a functional knife, but this one is probably going to need some help. We'll see if I fix it up and stuff. It's pretty cool, but like, yeah. To be honest, this is more like what you'd expect from a $7 knife, right? This is not amazing. In fact, this is pretty horrible. Kind of more what you'd expect for a $7 knife. Now, these two knives, I think, are actually very, very well done for $7. Are these knives perfect? No, but they're $7. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. This knife is not that cool. This knife's kind of a piece of junk, but it's $7. So, you know, we'll see if I can fix this one up and maybe get it a little more functional. But yeah, this one's definitely my least favorite of this bunch. But there we go. There are 3 new Ozark trails. Again, I have no idea when you guys are going to be seeing this video. I hope they're still around by the time you're seeing this video. But this one, I think, is my favorite. The Glacier is really, really good. This might be a better knife than this one, actually, but I've already had it before, so maybe, you know, I'm a little bit underwhelmed with it. But this is a really, really cool knife. I do like the new colorway. And this one definitely steals the show for me. I do prefer this design. So you'll definitely be getting a review of the Ozark Trail Glacier because it's now named, and I have a feeling they're going to keep making this knife, probably in different colorways and things, but you'll definitely be seeing a review of this knife sometime. I don't know if you'll be seeing a review of this knife because there's really no guarantee that Ozark Trail is going to keep making these, and there's no name for this knife, but you will probably see it popping up in a few videos at least. There's gonna be a couple of videos where this knife makes an appearance. I can tell you that much for sure. So keep an eye out for that. And you know, if you want to see a review of these 2 nameless knives, let me know. I'm a man of the people. I will give y'all what you want. So if that's something you're interested in, just let me know. But that's gonna be it for today. Big shout out to my channel members at the Cowboy level. I appreciate everything they do for the channel. If you want to become a member and support me directly, there's a link down below. As for the rest of y'all, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.